Good morning. This is Pastor Jason of Kona Faith Center with the word for today. And the word for today is stewardship. Wikipedia says that stewardship is an ethical value that embodies the responsible planning and management of resources. Peter writes that we are to be good stewards of the many faceted grace of God. There are so many sides to the grace of God. But I think this is a difficult concept for us to really grab a hold of, being good stewards of the many faceted grace of God. I think about my house, my truck, my dogs, my stuff all the time. The truth of the matter is that everything I have comes from the Lord. The truth of the matter is that everything belongs to the Lord. Now, the Lord has given me everything for the specific purpose of building his kingdom. So the question that I think that we need to ask periodically is, how am I doing with the responsible planning and management of the resources that belong to God that he has given me stewardship over? Am I using those resources to build his kingdom? I think we need to recognize that we'll have to give an account of how we manage those resources. I also think that we will be judged on what was produced by those resources. Jesus uses several parables in which the master gives resources to servants and expects a return on investment. Jesus went even further and said that every branch, that is you and me, that does not bear fruit will be cut off and burned. Peter writes, all will have to give an account to the one who judges. So let us arm ourselves with the attitude of Jesus. I don't know about you, but I need an attitude adjustment. Let us crucify the flesh and its desires and be finished with the sin. Let us live for the will of God. Let us be focused in prayer, and especially in light of the end being near, let us pray consistently, continuously for a move of God's Spirit that ushers people into the kingdom. Let us love people. Let us be committed enough to people to help them be who God made them to be and to help them do what God made them to do. Let's love people enough to speak the truth in love to them. Let's stop grumbling. I don't know about you, but I found myself grumbling lately. Bummers, stop it. Let's use the gift that God has given us to serve each other. Whoa, am I really serving the people in my life? Let us be a good steward of this grace, of this multi-sided grace that God has given to us. Peter writes, don't be surprised at the fiery ordeal taking place among us to test us. You see, the devil's after our faith. If he's got our faith, he's got us. And so we just have to see every circumstance simply as a test of our faith. He says, don't be surprised and think something strange is happening. He says, rejoice and be glad. He writes that the time for judgment begins with us first, and if that's the case, then we must know what the end will be for those who disobey, and we must be motivated to speak the truth to them. He says if it's hard for the righteous to be saved, isn't that an interesting concept? It's hard to be saved. What will become of the ungodly and the sinner? Well, we know where they're headed. So let's trust God, who is faithful. Let us continue to do good. Let us be good stewards. Let us deny self to serve others. Let us live to do the will of God. Let us work to the very end. The word for today is stewardship. The question for the day, how are you doing with your stewardship? God bless. Check in tomorrow.